fear and belief structures which cause people to become mind-possessed. We have in the newspaper here a story of a pastor that was accused of poking women from 200 meters away. And the story goes as follows. Villagers believed that if any woman was within 200 meters of this particular pastor's house, he could have sex with her. Fearful people said that he did not even have to touch a woman to have sex, and that this pastor was apparently using what they call ushoshapanzi, meaning underground, so which is obviously perhaps a form of magic or muti, and that in the middle of the night this pastor could walk past a woman's house and have sex with women. Now, what happened to this pastor was that as soon as the members of the town became suspicious that this is what was going on, they then went to this pastor's house and dragged him off into the hills and burnt him alive. So this is an example here of people's belief structures resulting in ideas and perceptions being fed, and compounding of ideas through people sharing stories and becoming hysterical and fearful around a singular point, and through observing events that are taking place, people will then come to a conclusion and take a particular action where they will get themselves so hyped up by the fear around something that they will, through that fear, which is backed up by all the knowledge and information that they have about this particular point, they will actually possess themselves into a state where they will first of all convince themselves that, first of all, this pastor was using some form of muti and had the ability to, from more than 200 meters away, have sex with women. Now, I mean, for a culture to be indoctrinated and build such a belief structure around a point like that, you know, goes hand in hand with extensive fear mongering which takes place over many years. So, for example, the point that I mentioned earlier was people will already exist in fear. So the only reason why people belong to a specific religion or belief structure is to give yourself a reason and a purpose not to fear yourself, life, your economic situation, the world, other people around you, what could happen to you. And that is the only reason why, you know, our parents will teach us from young to believe in a certain God and a certain religious structure. And as we grow up, we accept that fear and that reason that our parents give us, and the reason that everybody in society gives the purpose of religion, must be real, because your parents and society will say to you, you see, look what happens to bad people. Bad things happen to bad people, and bad things happen to people who do not believe in a God. And then you, in the hopes that you can somehow avoid some gruesome death where you end up going to some hell that you've never seen for yourself, you will then take on the belief structure of your family or friends or society, and you will believe very strongly in that God in the hope that you and your family will be protected, not actually seeing reality for what it is, and seeing that your belief completely exists in your mind and has no actual physical foundation within this physical reality. So what is happening currently in South Africa, for example, is that we are having a lot of muti killings, where it is a customary point within some of the Zulu cultures that you can use muti through a witch doctor to actually bless yourself and give yourself good luck, good fortune, get more money, get the girl you want, get the job you want, or it can be used to curse another person. And there is such a strong belief that this muti actually works, and that, for example, the body parts of people, like genitalia, skin, certain organs of humans or animals, by combining that with the ritualistic elements during such spell casting, you are amplifying the effects of the muti. So a lot of money is spent on paying these witch doctors to have certain body parts. Obviously, if you don't have that much money, they use animal body parts, and obviously if you've got a lot of money, you can pay these witch doctors for human body parts to amplify the magic. Now, this is an actual scare that is going on currently in South Africa. People and children are being abducted and killed for body parts. Okay, so now this is creating a lot of fear and misdirected solutions. People are attempting to find solutions for the problem instead of looking, of course, at people's actual beliefs in, the validity that we give things like gods and the supernatural and the money system and the value that we give the money system, instead of looking at and aligning ourselves to the practical common sense of ourselves, so that we stop the patterns of abuse that we allow to be able to live according to some capitalist system where you want more, you need to feed the capitalist aspect of yourself as material things. Instead of us addressing that, people will, for example, if somebody's accused of being a witch, they'll immediately go and burn down the person's house. So there's a lot of misdirected anger that is happening currently in South Africa, instead of people stopping the core belief structure behind why these things exist in the first place. So here with this pastor, for example, that was killed, people would take current situations which are muti killings, and now witchcraft is more than ever seen as an absolute negative light. And then what they will do is, within their community, they will see something weird going on. Like, let's say, for example, in this situation where this pastor was in the end accused of sexually molesting a woman. Let's say a woman was raped. It could have started out with she was abused by her boyfriend and she cried rape, or she had sex with her boyfriend and then he dumped her, or he wouldn't give her money and then she cried rape. Whatever the story is. But something happened with a woman, and a few nights later in the same area, the next thing happened to another woman, whether there was a rapist involved or not. Then somehow this pastor was involved. Either somebody had a grudge against this pastor and he was now connected to all these deeds, or the pastor was seen handling maybe a weird parcel near the house of the lady who was raped. And now immediately people are starting to put two and two together and have connected that these women being sexually attacked and the pastor and muti is connected, because they want to be able to catch people who are using witchcraft and muti. So what better way than to start connecting the dots of events that are happening to immediately be able to punish the people who are using muti. And they actually believe then, through their own fear, which is now all the points, as I've just mentioned, brought together in the minds of the beings, is starting to project and create actual problems that are not there. So for example, they are starting to create ideas in the mind that this pastor actually had the ability to, from 200 meters away, sexually molest women. So they took this man and they killed him. And this is a form of fear generated and belief structure generated possession. So observe for yourself where within culture and society people are allowing what they read and what they see and what they experience, and the fear that exists around beliefs and customs and traditions and the supernatural, to actually take people to the extent where you will act on your beliefs and your fears in the name of this fear that exists within you. That's it. Thank you very much.